on YouTube. Pig Trail Network. All right. Oh, let's see. Got to respond to the text. Got to respond to the text messages first. Cardinals won, so my phone's blowing up. Yes, they won. Need to check on the rest of the division. I love beating the Cubs, especially at Wrigley. I apologize to the Cub fans out there. My bad. What's going on, Azazian on Absurdity? You'd think I'd get that right one of these days. Let me respond to my dad first. He says, so my dad, he's 60. What is he, 63? And he's owned an iPhone for like 2.5 years. His first smartphone. No. Well, technically his first smartphone. And every time one little thing happens, it's do me a favor and call my phone. This is what he says. Do me a favor and call me. My phone's not working for some reason when I try to call out. So he's on Straight Talk. He's not aware of this. I don't know how he's able to text me, though. But Straight Talk's been having some issues today. Well, Verizon. Straight Talk piggybacks off of Verizon, off their network. For some reason, I can't call out. I tried calling you a little while ago, and I got a message about Verizon. Yeah. So it's weird that you could text but not call. I don't know anything about telecommunications, but that seems a little strange to me. I hope everybody's doing good. How's it going? Wi-Fi ? Says Patrick. Well, but he's not. He drives a route for his job, and he shouldn't be unless he's getting Wi-Fi at one of his businesses. I'm not really sure. But he's not super tech savvy. Most people 60 plus probably aren't, and those that are, well, I don't know. I'm not exactly tech savvy either. I shouldn't talk. So welcome. First, let's get the intros out of the way. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to stop by and check out the live stream. We're doing these so much more often now, and I am having a blast with it. You can see look at that. You can see my lighting right there, like that. Didn't intend for that, but it is what it is. I'm a perfectionist. You guys have no idea. So if you guys would like, comment, share the content, please copy that URL up above and post it somewhere on social media. I'd really appreciate it. I typically, as always, for those of you who are not here live, hit my microphone. Those of you who are catching up to us, or maybe this video has been posted for a couple of days. Yes, it's going to take a few minutes before we get into the meat of the video. And this is a we're getting ready for San Jose State. So I don't have all my numbers pulled up either here. I need to do that. I apologize. I wanted to go live as soon as we got back. We had our 7-year-old, our oldest daughter, Ellie, had student teacher conferences today at her school. And she goes to a charter school here in Springdale. And to me, it's weird to have this 2-week, like school's not even been, they haven't even had 2 full weeks of school and they're already having these meetings. It's bizarre. But today's been wild. Today was just a busy day for me with the kids at home and driving them around. We had a good little fun day at Target. They earned, since they did their chores, I told them I'd give you a $5 credit each. I'm a capitalist after all. They got to earn their money. They did. And I told them their reward would be the $5 in getting to go to Target and pick out a toy. That was a catastrophe at Target. Because my 4-year-old, my youngest, she just wants everything. And she doesn't understand that typically the larger the toy, the more expensive it is. That's just, the concept of money and all that. Just, she's still learning. But my 7-year-old was like trying to guide her, and it was a nightmare for her too. I feel like we both had kind of a crazy day. So, all right, let me read your comments. I do want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. Sorry, my lighting is all up in your business back there on your eyeballs, but I do appreciate it. Again, check out the links down below to everybody, and I make sure to always thank you guys for those of you who've been donating and joining the Patreon. Wow. And I'm going to do that. Something I have not done yet. I'm going to read out the Patreon because I need to give those guys some more support. I got to pull it up here. Of course, I'm signed out on my Patreon, so that's lovely. Got to do that really quick. But if you guys want to check those links out, they are down below. They're provided for you, those links. Well, I said I was going to do this. Anthony White, who has been, I think he's been a part of the Patreon for a little while now. Danyel Hadley, I know who you are. Logan Alexander, Timothy Whiseant, and Tyler Edmonson. Of course, you guys, thank you so much. You guys are the Patreon supporters. Timothy is the latest. He's the newest member, and we dropped our Discord last week, and you guys blew that up. Discord is popping. We've been sharing some cool information there. Been talking some Razorback football. You guys are posting these really cool flamingo gifts, because it is Flamingo Friday after all. So shout out to all of you who are part of the Patreon and who've joined the Discord. Really do appreciate that. Now, you guys had asked about the T-shirts. Of course, I left it out of the room. I was going to bring it in here and show you the front and the back, but of course I was thinking about yelling at my wife, but I don't want to do that to you here because that might blow your ears off. But yeah, so I was going to show you the shirt. But anyways, for those of you who are asking about that, we had not anticipated that would be so popular. And unfortunately, our communication, myself and Jacob and our producer, Porter Hayes, a.k.a. Peck, we live in 3 different towns. And Jacob lives all the way down in El Dorado. I'm obviously up here in Fayetteville, Springdale, and in the area in Northwest Arkansas. So our communication is very limited. And Jacob is stretched super thin, and it can be really hard sometimes. He'll go days where we don't talk at all. And we're trying to work out what we're going to do about the T-shirts. I know you guys have been asking me. I got more people asking me about the shirts. And my Discord's blowing up. That's a different channel though, different Discord channel. So we're working on that. We're going to do I think we're going to do I don't know if we're going to do a pre-order kind of thing, but we're setting up to where we can print out 15 T-shirts because that's really all we have the budget for right now. And then obviously I don't know what the charge is going to be. Jacob is going to come with that information. Hopefully we're this Sunday. We're probably going to address that on our next podcast, on the Hawk Talk podcast. So we'll get you guys caught up there. Okay, we're 7 minutes in. Let's go ahead and do this. Azazian on Absurdity, thank you for the donation for $2. Browns suck. I'm not going to – yeah, but I'm not – come on. You know you can't say that. So let's get caught up on chat really quick. Let's see. What's up, Ty? What it do? What's going on, Frederick? Hope all is well. Patrick Champion, you had the comment about Wi-Fi. Thank you. You were right. It probably was how he was texting. My dad still uses a flip. He refuses to upgrade. So I used to work at a telecommunications center or a cell phone stand in Sam's Club. You remember those? You walk in and I think they're still there. Actually, people sell you contracts or whatever. I used to do that. I actually sold my dad a Samsung Rugby. He used that thing. I'm not kidding, for 8 years. It wouldn't die. It would not die. He dropped it. I'm pretty sure he stepped on it. Wouldn't even surprise me that he drove over it. That Rugby was a hoss. So yeah, he refused and he didn't upgrade until just recently. Rams your favorite NFL team? Yes, I am a Ram fan. Have been since they left Los Angeles to go to St. Louis back in '94, and I stuck with them when they went back to LA. It was hard. I actually got into an argument on Twitter with Torrey Holt and Leonard Little. 2 guys I looked up to in the NFL, and Torrey Holt went on in some rant about fans need to stick with their team, not the city. And look, you could tell there's a Cardinal. I'm all about St. Louis. I was thrilled to see them win the cup. God, what's it called? The Stanley. Is that what the Stanley Cup, right? I was happy to see them do that. I'm all about the city of St. Louis. We have family connections there going back to the 20s. We're very connected to that city. And I felt kind of what the hell? But I got over it and I stuck with them. Before they got McVay as a head coach, I stuck with them through the tough and bad times. Even when they left from Los Angeles to St. Louis, those first few years were terrible. They drafted Jerome Bettis. He wanted out so bad. He didn't want to stick around. Ultimately, he would leave and go to Pittsburgh. And then when they drafted, of course, they brought in Isaac Bruce around the same time, if I remember right. And then eventually, Leonard, you guys remember the Lawrence Phillips running back out of Nebraska? That's a sad story. I remember being thrilled about that. And then finally we got the greatest show on turf. And it was like, thank you. My years of misery. And finally, I say years. Like at that point from 94 until 99, I mean, there were Browns fans and Raiders fans who waited for years and years. All right. Better to be a capitalist than an SJW. I couldn't agree more. Nice. I haven't missed much. Welcome, everyone. Tyler Edmonson, who actually dubbed the name Flamingo Friday. Let's see. Go Hogs, screaming all the way from Jacksonville, Florida. Daryl Smith. You the man. Take your time on it, brother. No rush. Love my note. I didn't get it. I don't know what you're talking about. Fish. I'm sorry. Blake TV, sup Ty. AB got released by the Patriots. What'd you guys think of that? So, he got those what was it, sexual harassment allegations or whatever that pumped out after he joined the Pats. We know about the nightmare situation with the Raiders. What is going on? I think his career is over with if that stuff sticks. Cowboys, Rams. How about them Cowboys? Really? Where was Grant, or where were you, Grant, when the Rams were playing in the Super Bowl? Don't give me what happened in the Super Bowl. What were the Cowboys doing when the Rams were in the Super Bowl? They were watching from home. I hate the Cowboys. I don't care that I live in Cowboy country. I don't care. I feel like a Cubs fan now, living in Cardinal country. I get it now. I have since I was little. I remember how often I got teased for being a Ram fan. Patriots still the best. Yeah, I mean Tom Brady. As much as I hate to admit it, he's probably the greatest quarterback of all time. Bill Belichick's, Bill Belichick. What's up, man? Hope you had a great week. I did, BB. Thank you. I was busy as always. No complaints though. Did you watch the SEC film room? I did not. I don't have time to do crap. I swear today is a great example of that. Oh man, well, you got to hate on the Cowboys. I don't hate on it. Jerry World's awesome. I'll tell you, I have an appreciation for Jerry Jones, obviously, being a Razorback and all the money he's given to the program. There's no doubt that Jerry Jones is a Razorback legend. And a part of me, if they're doing good, a part of me is like, okay, at least it's an ex-Razorback, right? It's not just some douche owner who, what was it Robert Kraft got accused for doing down in Miami? Not that I even, whatever. That's another. I swear, this is just Mio and water. I promise. Always hated the Cards. Been a Braves fan since the 90s. I remember when the Braves were damn good in the late 90s. So, how many rushing yards do you think? Let's get into this. We are 13 minutes in. We haven't even started on Colorado State or on San Jose State. We're still stuck on Colorado State. Well, let's talk about San Jose State. Last year, this was a team. You guys know they were pretty bad last year. They were really bad. They went 1-11, and they only beat UNLV last year, 50-37. But other than that, like most of their games, they got absolutely thumped. And we know a year ago might as well have been a decade ago. But they're not much better this year. But last year, just to give you guys an idea, since we've only got a couple of games to break down for them, last year they finished scoring offense, actually 117th. They were, I think, dead last in their conference, and 115th in scoring defense. Rushing defense, they were 107, and passing, their secondary, they gave up close to 284 yards a game. They ranked 127th overall. Passing defense, their total overall defense actually ranked 126th a year ago. Their head coach, this guy's probably going to be fired after this year, even though it's a non-Power 5 school. He's won, 2 games? Is that right? 2 games in the last, or is it 3 games? 3-22 in 2 years. And now he's got 4 wins so far. Their defense, really quick, we'll start on what they do on defense a little bit. They love to bring the pressure. They did return. They returned about 6 starters on defense from a year ago. They like to bring pressure. They run a 3-front. It's like an offset 3-4 defense, I think. But I also think it's a split 3-4D. Like they'll run every once in a while. You'll see 4 guys with their fingers in the dirt. But most of all, they're a 3-4 kind of an offset defense. They like to dial up the pressure. This is probably going to be the most aggressive defense they've played so far this year. I know Ole Miss got blitz happy there for a while, but these guys by nature, and they want to do that. And their front seven, they return like 4 or 5 of their front seven, and that's where the bulk of their experience is. They haven't had the most ideal year as a team, right? I mean, it's San Jose State. I keep wanting to call them San Jose State. I did that during our podcast too. By the way, Hog Talk podcast is up. The latest episode is up, so if you guys want to go catch that. But Arkansas right now, I'm trying to pull up the rest of their stuff here. Arkansas, according to the ESPN Football Power Index, they're favored at 88%. San Jose State, 12%. I think you guys will have to refresh my memory on that. I think the Colorado State game, it was about the same. I want to say it was like 80%, maybe. Maybe it was 80-20. Right now, the spread sitting at about 20 points, 20 and a half. It was 21 and a half, I think, and it's actually come down. I couldn't tell you why. Obviously that has something to do with the betting and who's taking the, who the odds have been favoring throughout the week and who's placing their bets on whoever. So far through the year, let's talk about what they've done through 2 years. Their quarterback Love is 37 I think it's 61, 413 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Their leading rusher, Nash, 13 carries, 115 yards with a touchdown. And Hamilton, Isaiah Hamilton, I think this is their little speedy guy. Yeah, 5'11", 175, 180 pounds, 8 catches, 109 yards, no touchdowns so far on the year. Also, what they have done, points per game, not too far behind Arkansas, although Arkansas's at least played a Power 5. I don't think San Jose State has. I have to go back and check that out. But they're at 25 and a half points per game, and their points allowed is about 26. Them and Arkansas, they're dead right even at 26. Both have allowed that many points. Now, they average on offense right at about 365. In this day and age in football, if you're not north of like 385, 400, your offense has got to be struggling. I can remember a time when even during the Petrino era, if you were above 350, 325, you were a pretty special offense, especially in the SEC. It's not the case anymore. I went on a rant a couple of videos ago about how the game is just so set towards the offensive game, the way the game is called, penalties, just the way the environment of the game is today, it favors the offense. It's not even close. So that's one of the reasons. Also, how dynamic the offenses have become. I have a friend of mine that's he just believes that the Big 12, he's an OU fan, and he believes that the Big 12 is just God when it comes to offense. I think it's a little bit of, they play great offense, but they can't spell defense in the Big 12. They just can't. Go look at their NFL draft picks. Look at the their total defensive draft picks in just the last. You can go back 10 years. It's terrible. They don't put out defensive talent. Oddly enough, though, they've had some great defensive coordinators come through that conference. They just can't seem to get it put together on the field. Their product just isn't the same what it is like in the SEC as far as defense. Nobody is, though, to be fair. Anyways, yeah, they're not offensively kicking. And again, I looked at their schedule. I swear I was for the podcast. I had this nailed down, and for whatever reason, I cannot remember who they've beaten. It was an FCS school. Yeah, they beat UNCO 35-18. They lost to Tulsa. Remember, one of only 2 wins from a year ago for the Razorbacks. San Jose State lost to them last week 34-16. So Arkansas should kill these guys. I'm not really big into scoring predictions and all that, but this shouldn't even be a contest. We ought to know by the end of the first half what exactly is going on. My God, my Discord. Right when you think you mute these other channels, there we go, muted it. I'm in like 3 other Discord channels. I'm also, for those of you who still want to join, I'm going to throw that down there to you guys. I'm going to throw you the link really fast. There it is. If you guys want to join the Discord, there it is. Bada bing, bada boom. You guys are wanting predictions on stats. Well, I don't know. I asked Jacob in the Hog Talk podcast the last episode when we were recording what he wanted to see out of the offense. And I'm probably going to do that about every week. Like, what do you expect and what do you think we end up seeing? There's no reason why they shouldn't rack up 550, 600 yards. There's no reason. I will say that if you're going to ask me, and this is a conversation I'm having with another friend of mine actually as we speak before I went live. If you're going to ask me what's the one thing you want to see most, what can you get out of this game? You can't get a whole lot, right? You can't it's to me there's nothing. If you blow these guys out of the water, it's it's San Jose State, right? But if you barely beat them, or if it takes a fourth quarter miracle to beat these guys, then I think we will have an idea of really what to expect. You hope that it's a symptom of just simply overlooking these guys to prepare for A&M, but still, I don't think that happens. I think this is a blowout. I really do. I think by the end of the first half, we're going to know. I hope. But what I want to see, if you're going to ask me, what's the one thing you want to see? Something we haven't seen out of a Chad Moore's coach team yet at Arkansas, including his 2 wins a year ago and his wins so far this year. Put together a full game on both sides of the ball through 4 quarters. Limit their offense, create havoc and pressure in their backfield, blow their rear ends up, cause confusion with your secondary and your coverage and your scheme and your preparation and your adjustments. You should be able – I don't think that's asking too much against someone like San Jose State. I am still worried about the defense, even before these injuries. Now, Dorian Gerald, Jamario Bell, those guys being limited. Montiel Soli, who apparently broke his hand. I thought it was a slight fracture or some sort of, sometimes they go a little overboard with wrapping their whole hand up, even if they have like a joint problem in their hand. I'm talking about your joint in your hand, not a joint, So with all these injuries and all these issues piling up, I'm really worried about the defense. I don't think this defense I don't think they're terrible. You've got guys like Scooter Harris, Sosa Game. I don't know if you guys saw this in the entire country. He's top 5 for quarterback pressures from an interior defensive lineman. That was from I don't think that was actually Pro Football Focus. That was somebody else. He's top 5 in the entire country. He's having a year. Sosa's doing really well, and that's good. So you've got him, who's kind of your buster up the middle, right? You've got Scuda. Bumper pool's going to be limited. I know he did something to his collarbone or clavicle, whatever. I think he strained it. I don't know how limited he's going to be in this matchup against San Jose State, but I want to see them put together four full quarters. Last week they took 2 quarters off, even with Nick Starkel out there at the quarterback position. I want to see that corrected. And maybe you have a quarter where it's like, maybe you had a turnover, or maybe someone, the handoff wasn't clean from Starkel to whoever, like we saw last week. Maybe you have a mistake that you can learn from, and it kind of discombobulates you for half a quarter or something. That's okay. That's understandable because it's the game of football. Things happen. There's all sorts of variables on the field. In San Jose State, like I said, they're pretty aggressive on defense with that 3-4 offset, and they like to play. I haven't seen a whole lot of film on them, but it looks like they live and die by the zone. And a quarterback like Starkel, I think he could rip that to shreds. It's these guys when you get into the SEC who can do both really well, where it's like, they can disguise their coverage that much better because they're able to do man and zone so well, because they're able to bring pressure without blitzing. That's when it's going to be an issue. The offensive line, how about that? Getting some love from Pro Football Focus. That's pretty astounding. Pro Football Focus through week 3 put them at number 8 in the country. Pro Football Focus is loving themselves some Razorbacks. And let me tell you something. Since they've been around, that's not a very common thing that you see from them. So that's a good sign. Ty Clary made their center for the week. Not bad. So let me get back to chat. I've been ignoring you, chat. I'm so sorry. What up from Rock Hill, South Carolina? Robert, how you doing, sir? Oh yeah, the Diamond Hogs taking on Oklahoma tonight. Yeah, it's kind of the reason I didn't think there'd be a whole lot of people. We got some big time high school games tonight. There's a big one tonight in Fayetteville. They're home. One of the schools, Springdale Harbor, has a big one tonight. And then, of course, you've got this matchup between the Diamond Hogs. No, you had thought about trying to make something tonight, either the Diamond Hog fall matchup or or going to that Fayetteville game tonight. I really thought about it, but I'm not going to be able to. That's okay. Always hated the Cards. Okay, we read that one. Potts is a Braves fan. let's see. Last time I was on here, I was in Oregon. You just travel all over the place, Robert. So how many rushing yards do you think will pack on this Saturday? I mean, if it's not 200, well, it just depends on what they do with the pass game and what they want to take care of, right? If they want to get out there and let Starkle just light the scoreboard on fire, I don't know what they do with the run game. Just recently started watching your videos. You do a good job, man. Keep up the good work. Go Hawks. Thank you, Matt. Is that Trosclair? Trosclair? It's an interesting. I don't know if that's actually a family name or not. That's a pretty cool last name, though, if it is. It sounds like a Game of Thrones character. Matt Trosclair and his men ravaged the countryside. How about that? 211 rushing yards. Wow, I don't know why, but my chat rolled down. I'm sorry. I don't know who said that, but someone said 211. There we go. Tyler Edmonson, 211 yards. Robert Ainsworth says 567 total. I will actually be at the game supervising our redshirt football players from Arkansas Baptist. Okay, cool. All right, Chance. That's awesome. 700 total yards of offense from Fishman. Treylon Burks will get his first touchdown tomorrow. Grant, I like that. I like that a lot. Richard Coleman, I'm sorry, sure, but your message was retracted. I didn't even get to see it. I'm sorry. Mike Lane. I look good. I look for a good day from Chase, something to build his confidence and get him going. Yeah, someone's got to get it going because he can't just be Boyd. Can't just be Rakeem Boyd. Rakeem the Dream Boyd. I want to see more from Whaley and somebody. And is it time, if you get a big enough lead, this is the question. When do you bench Starkle to put in one of your younger guys? And this sounds terrible. This sounds terrible, what I'm about to say. Don't play Hicks at all. For no reason at all tomorrow. I don't want to see Hicks on the field. That sounds awful. And here's what's funny. I'll say that. And knowing our luck, Arkansas gets this huge lead. They put Hicks in, and he lights the world on fire. He throws for like 15 of 15 for, 250 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Like, he just lights the world on fire. But I don't mean it because of a performance. It's not a he sucks, don't play him argument. It's a I want to see the younger guys play argument. Ben Hicks is a senior. He's done. He's donezo. Something else really quick before we continue. Hang on. We had talked about who remembers this? I posted this a little while back on YouTube. Posted this. I want to know if you guys knew. And I'd actually already posted this on Twitter, and the individual who actually signed it responded. So I was hoping, and that's been like 2 months ago when that happened, and I was hoping that none of you guys really paid attention to Twitter. And obviously nobody did because nobody got this right. I asked who autographed this. Now, before, I'm not going to answer yet. I'm not going to give you guys the answer yet. I want you to post at the end who you think it is, and if you guys get it right. Actually, you can just assume right now, and I'll keep up with chat the best I can. If you get it right, I don't know. I'll give you a high five. How about that? Or I'll give you a name shout out or something. But the hints were, if you remember, he played in Northwest Arkansas. I could say one thing that would instantly give it away besides his name, and not just the school that he played at, because the school he's played at, well, okay. What else can I say? I was trying to think of like a teammate. He played, no, that'll give it away too. Here, I'll flash it up really quick. I'll flash it up really fast for you. Oh, he played in Northwest Arkansas. And I'll say this, it was in the 2000s. It was in the Houston Nutt era. There you go. There's your hints. I don't know. Maybe if you if you see me out and about, I'll give you a high five. How about that? But I wanted to do that at the beginning of the show. But yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, you already know because it was answered on Twitter like 2-3 months ago. Where were we? Anyways, I forgot where we were at. I'll just say I want to see them play 4 quarters, and I think with all the injuries on defense, I know it's still an uphill climb, and I know I hear this all the time. I hear this so much. They're young. They're still trying to learn. There's still a transition going on. Okay, fine. but we've still not seen them play 4 quarters of football against anybody, even against their wins against the FCS schools, against the non-power fives. We've not seen it. And I don't think that's asking too much. And yeah, you need to beat San Jose State by 40. I mean, that's what it should be. Okay. And by the way, if you guys don't already, join us on Discord. There's the link. I haven't even checked to see if anybody joined, so I'm going to do that really quick. Right now, we've got like 20. There's quite a few people in there, actually. There's more in there than I thought there would be, even after posting that link. But if you want, join that Discord link. Let's see. Hard to say on stats per player. Yeah, the stats per player always, because you never know what they're doing as far as trying to, when they break down film, they're going to see something and they're going to go, okay, this week we're going to do this with so-and-so. I am excited. I'm going to tell you guys this. Next week, you're going to have TJ Hammonds available for the A&M game. I'm curious to see what they do with him. Let's see. Fishman, I want to see no injuries. Yeah, I mean, duh. Right. I mean, of course, no injuries. But as far as their product on the field, hey, are you ready to see? Yeah, I don't know what that's. Husina Henry's brother ankle. I don't know if you're using like your voice to talk on your phone. I'm not sure what. I think you're saying maybe the Henry brother. I don't know. Woodman's Ghost. Whaley sucks. Boyd needs help going into SEC play. I don't know that I'm going to say that Whaley sucks, because if you go back to his freshman year with that offensive line, he was still able to. I mean, he had some pretty nice runs. I'm not going to say he sucks, but he's got some work to do. I just want to see him. Ankle breaker, you're the best. Thank you. A lot of chat here. Justin Potts says he watched the SEC film room last night, and according to Morris, most of the big throws were called run plays. Shows Starkel can read the defense and make decisions. Gives us a shot at some of the SEC teams. Yeah, I wanted to watch that. I really hope that I just joined YouTube Live. I don't know if any of you are subscribers to YouTube Live, but obviously that's their live streaming platform. And I don't know. I've only watched it to watch Cardinal games and to watch the Razorbacks. That's all I've used it for. And I need to see if there's a feature where I could save things from shows like on a DVR or in a cloud, whatever, and see if I can go back and watch them. I really wanted to check that out. Kyrie Walker. Oh, I'm glad Grant brought this up. Yeah, 4-star. Was he like 6'5", 6'6", 200 pounds? Got crystal balled, by 24/7 Sports. Their head, their recruiting analyst or something. I may have to pull that up here in a minute. But he crystal balled Kyrie to the Razorbacks. How huge would that be? And I wonder what that would do with, confidence is something I think a lot of fans have for the basketball program. But I was going to say, I wonder how that would build confidence to the program to get his first actual high school commitment to be Kyrie Walker. That'd be pretty cool. Obviously, Moody's out there, I know. But good call, Grant. Has his official visit for the red-white scrimmage in Barnhill. Yeah. Tell me how huge. I want to know who's going to that, because I will probably be there. And if you see me, feel free. I'm sure I'll have my Hog Talk shirt on. Hell, I might have my Pink Flamingo shirt on. I think is that a Friday? Is that when that is? I might have to wear the Pink Flamingo shirt, but I plan on going. I don't know. I think it's free, so it's going to take me back to being like 9, 8, 7. Well, how old was I when they built Bud Walton? That was in 94. It would have been like 8 or 9 when they moved to Bud Walton. Barnhill's just the smell of it. I know when I walk in there, I'm going to get all the feels, oh my God. 3 different running backs, over 100 yards rushing on Saturday. They damn better sure have over 100 yards on the ground. Put in John Stephen Jones, forget Hicks, says Kel Mary, 2007. Yeah, I want to see someone else besides Hicks. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of a mean thing to say, but he's done. He's a senior. I don't, they're not going to, and technically they could still redshirt him, by the way. I don't know if anyone's, because I think he has a red shirt available. I could be wrong, but I think he played 3. I can't remember. I get him and Nick Starkel mixed up on who you can actually, what their availability looks like as far as like a red shirt. But I think they can. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see them doing that, and he shouldn't. And the future is with Starkel for this year and probably next year. Let's see. Hope that KJ can get a chance tomorrow, says Grant. I couldn't agree more. I want to see KJ. I want to see KJ. Now, they'll have another opportunity with Western Kentucky. Did you guys see Ty Story might be getting the starting job with Western Kentucky after all? I think their starting quarterback got injured. If we get a big lead, play younger players, say first team for A&M. I couldn't agree more. Bench him for Jerry Jones. Well, a lot of you coming in with the Jerry Jones grandson with John Stephen. That's interesting. Didn't expect to see that. Last time I did a video on John Stephen Jones, I got more LOLs and what the hell are you thinking comments about John Stephen. There's a video that I did a year ago. I think it was the what about. I did this what about on like 2 or 3 quarterbacks. And I did one for John Stephen Jones, and I caught some flack for that one. But I look, he reminds me of he's a gamer, man. You put that kid in, he runs around, and he's wild with the ball, but he moves the offense. He did in high school. I mean, we don't know what he'll do at Arkansas. I don't know. Starkville comes out after 5, I guess, minutes in the fourth quarter. Okay, yeah, 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, 500 yards passing. Rick Carr. 500. Look, anything's possible. Didn't he throw for, 499 in A&M's bowl game against Wake Forest? Isn't that right? Okay, now you guys are getting into the who signed this. Okay, someone says Coley and Jackson. No. Mitch Mustaine definitely signed it, Grant says. How did you see that? Did you see that? Yeah, it's Mitch Mustaine. How did you get that, Grant? It's Mitch Mustaine. So it even says he's got the Go Hogs down there. He's an interesting fellow. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, but he made a comment like a year ago after Arkansas lost to, I think it was Colorado State, I think. And, fans get on him, Razorback fans. I cannot understand. I can't understand full-grown adults getting after Mitch Mustaine all these years later, calling him a turncoat and all this. I don't get that. Like, he made a decision. He got screwed over at Arkansas by Houston Nutt. Look, we have talked on the Hog Talk podcast to people who are unbiased in that situation, who were there when it all happened. And I'm going to tell you, those kids, the Springdale 5 got absolutely screwed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I don't want to make this live stream about that, but we had Ben Cleveland on. You should go back and listen to that. And then the stuff that he said after we were done recording and before we started recording. I mean, and not just them. I mean, members of the media. It's been an interesting, I think Mitch Mustaine, don't get me wrong, it sucks to see a kid transfer. And at the time, that was a blow to the chest. And you had all that drama with Gus Miles on. But they got screwed over. I know I'm going to catch some angry texts or angry comments, but I have a hard time putting anything on a kid who was lied to, and that's been verified. He was lied to and then left because he was. I get it. Back then, I wasn't so happy about it. I was right there with everybody else, flinging the fruit. How dare you? And I was. That's been so long ago now. I think we can move past it. But he's obviously. I think Mitch is kind of I think he's still silently, quietly cheers for the Razorbacks, but he's got the USC banner on his Twitter. But boy, he went over there, and it just all fell apart for him over there. But I guess he's living in Arizona, flying planes or something. I don't know, but he's an interesting follow on Twitter. Yeah, it was definitely Mitch Mustaine. Someone had guessed Matt Jones, and it does look like because if you look at his, it almost looks like Matt if you get a glance at it. I can't believe Greg got that. You paused the screen, didn't you? You cheated. All right. I want your predictions for this game, and then we're going to close this thing out. I'll tell you what I think. I mean, obviously, Arkansas should win this thing. Again, they're favored by a lot in the line. It did drop. It went from 21.5 to 20.5. Arkansas, like I said, what I want to see out of these guys is 4 quarters of football on both sides of the ball. I want to see 4 quarters effort. I don't mind. Look, like that first play for the line, or the second play of the line of scrimmage against Colorado State when that running back went down the field. That can't happen. That can't happen. I don't know. Still, I don't know if that was a missed assignment. I think they have commented on that. I haven't seen it, but that had to be a missed assignment. I don't know. I don't know how you let that happen. And that sort of stuff cannot happen against non-Power 5 schools. I get it every once in a while happening against a Power 5 or an SEC. I get that. I don't want to see San Jose State rack up, 400, 500 yards of offense. I don't want to see them put up 30-plus points. I don't want to see that stuff. This is the game where you left lane hammer down. Okay, that's what they've been preaching. We saw a little bit of it. We've seen it with Starkel. They're headed in the right direction, guys. They're there. They're headed in the right direction. I'm not saying that Chad Morris is going to come out here and win, 9-10 games a year. And I'm not even saying they're going bowling this year. We're finally seeing that thing that kicking the tires and lighting the fires on offense that we've been at, or that they've been telling us that, after 14 games, oh, it's coming. We're working on it, and they are. And I get it. This is, they didn't build Rome in a night, or whatever that saying is, Rome in a day. You can't build a football program in a single recruiting class, not even 2 recruiting classes, not even 2 years. The work is, there was an article about a player that Brett Bielema missed out on in the recruiting process, and he's now Clemson's best defensive player. I'm going to tell you guys, we've heard quite a bit about that, and the uncommon. You remember that hashtag uncommon men? They missed out on some players because of that, and because of those lack of recruiting efforts by the previous staff, mostly on Brett Bielema, they don't have talent to work with, and so I get that. I'm not trying to be too hard on the staff, but we haven't seen them put together at least 4 quarters of full effort yet, and I think you can argue that we got a big piece of that last week. I want to see them. I'm not saying for a great A-plus product on the field. I'm not even asking for that. Limit these guys on offense, blow past their defense, and just play 4 quarters of football against these guys. I want to see a full game. That's all I'm asking for. I don't think that's asking too much against San Jose State. But I'm really excited. Starkel just provides you with so much on offense. And if you do get a huge lead, I want to see KJ. I want to see John Stephen Jones. I want to see those two rotate in and out in the second half, like in the fourth quarter. I would love it if they could just get this huge lead, and then as they progress, they just start rotating in and out more freshmen. I would say at the receiver slot, we need to see some more guys, but we're seeing the youngsters. They're already out there. Trey Knox and Burks are balling out. I will say I do think Burks gets his first touchdown. Someone had asked me, I don't know if it was here in chat or where, but about Hudson Henry, if he was going to play. I don't have anything on him. The last I heard, this guy just didn't have a good fall, and he may get redshirted. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he comes out and plays. Chase Harrell, I would rather not see him. I'd rather see more of Gunter and Cheyenne O'Grady, and they've even got, what's that other guy's name? Kern. Anybody but him, but the KU transfer. But he did have a nice touch. God, that guy looks like Tarzan. He's just, I mean, he's huge. 6'4". I don't know what his weight is now. I had it pulled up for last week's show, but I mean, he looks like a monster. He just can't catch anything. But yeah, 4 quarters of football. That's all I'm asking for. I don't know. Maybe you disagree. Maybe I'm asking too much. Tim B says not to look ahead, but do we have a chance against A&M? Man, they got Auburn, and I wonder if Auburn, who they run, that kind of offense they run, they try to be downhill with it, and they're trying to be. And I remember Gus talking about this coming into the season. They want to be more physical, and they are more physical. I don't know if they're better than where they were a year ago. They look better. He supposedly is calling all the plays. You wonder how physical they are with A&M, and if that takes a toll on them. And if you're able to rest your ones for a whole half going into the A&M game, and you start putting in preparation Sunday and Monday and throughout the rest of the week, I'm going to say right now, no. Even with the improvement we've seen on offense, they're too much of a liability on defense. There's too many injuries. They're too young. There's just not enough talent. They've got talent, but like I've said before, they're young. They're very young. And with the injuries you've got going on at linebacker, man, if this team if you had some guys that had been here a couple of years or weren't true freshmen or redshirt freshmen or second-year sophomores or second-year freshmen, I would probably make the argument that they're in a good shape with the mixture of talent and age, but it's just they're young. Outside of Scuda and Sosa, there's just a lot of youth on that defense, and we've seen it. And they just haven't looked prepared on defense either. I mean, it's like every week you can just expect like deer in headlights from this defense because of that. And, on offense, they were anemic for 2 quarters. And one of those quarters, Starkel was your quarterback. And even Starkel admitted to the media that he just didn't know a play that was signaled in from the sidelines. He screwed it up. He mixed it up, and that's going to happen. But because of those things, like they're still installing offense. Well, A&M is in a different mindset. They're beyond installment. They're there. They're just trying to get it right. They're kind of a step ahead with Jimbo. I just don't think Arkansas has much of a shot. Anything can happen, but even in the Bielema years where I felt like they were better than A&M was, just the total package that was on the field comparatively to A&M, they still lost those games. And I don't know. I guess we'll see. They're going to have to grow up in a hurry after this game if you want to go toe-to-toe with A&M. And here's the thing. I think they will. I think they could go toe-to-toe, but I also think the defense is such a liability that A&M could pull away, and it could be something where it's a close game for like maybe the first 2.5, 3 quarters, then the fourth quarter A&M pulls away because they have more depth, right? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to read a little bit more, some more of the comment section, then we'll probably call it. So predictions. I asked you guys for predictions. Fishman says 59-13. I like that one. Kel Mary 56-17. Go Hogs. No injuries. Reggie Smith says, "Can anyone get me tickets? I'm in Tulsa, but I'm from Mariana." Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said I'm in Tulsa and I'm in Mariana. It's like you're in 2 places at once. Yeah, if someone could get the man some tickets, look, Reggie, I think you could pull up to the stadium, and you shouldn't have any problems. Robert Ainsworth, 48-17. Greg, 35-31. Christopher, is it Shea? 57-23. Tim B, 62-17. Rick Carr, I'm like, some of you think they ought to hold them to 10. Rick Carr says Hogs 56-10. Timothy Whiseant, how's it going, sir? Burt was a disaster. And I hate to put majority of blame on anybody, especially when it comes to sports and college and pro, because you don't know what happens behind the scene. But it was not good. Preach that, but can you imagine these freshmen when they are juniors and seniors? Yeah, they'll get better. They will. There's no doubt. The talent level's risen. The age level's dropped. They'll get there. No, I missed the majority of the live stream. It's okay, Chris. You can go back and watch it from the beginning. I know you want to be here when it's all live, but we will be live, by the way. The halftime show over on the Hawk Talk podcast tomorrow night. So you want to be a part of that. And then that's over on Facebook. And then after the show, we'll be right back here. I don't care. It's going to be late. I don't care. It's going to be great because you should have just blown out San Jose State, and then we start talking about that, and then we get into the imagine if they could, blah, 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 against A&M. Supposedly, HUD is having trouble with blocking. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know he struggled. He went through concussion protocol, and then he's just, I don't know. He's just not. Remember Rivals? Like I said, we mentioned this before. Rivals, someone from it wasn't Nikki Chavanel or any of them from the local, like from Hogbeat. Someone nationally, one of the national Rivals people, or maybe it was 24/7 Sports. One of those two went and watched him play and dropped him 10 spots. So I wonder if they saw something and now the staff's seeing it. I don't know. Everyone I've talked to who saw him play live said he was great. We had Barry Grooms on, and he from Hooten's Magazine on the Hog Talk podcast, and he thought he was a pretty talented kid. Let's see. Where did all the let's not get into the Burt. I mean, look, everyone tries to support their coach, but I do agree, Timothy. There's some issue there with Burt. I think he put us in a big hole. I gotta agree with that. But he does go on to say, man, they used to tell us all the time that you're not a real fan and give him more time. We're paying him handsomely not to coach. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Timothy. I'm just kidding. Says we're sure that Starkel is starter. Yes, someone trolled me and got me worried. Yeah, no, he's fine. He's your guy. Starkel's going to be your guy. We'll see what he does when he gets into SEC play, though. Traylon goes for 150 yards, says Rick Carr. Renegade Biker, I hope A&M destroys Auburn. Poor Gus Bus. What, you don't like Gus Bus? Robert Ainsworth just wanted offense and defense to put up a B- grade. Saw an Alabama fan on Facebook who did a video. He graded us a D last week. Want to shut him up. Well, I mean, on defense, yeah. Their defense was a D-. I mean, it was. The defense, when you're playing Colorado State, there's no excuse. I don't care that they have a high-powered offense. There's no excuse to give up the kind of yardage that they did. I could agree with a D- grade on defense. Offensively, however, I thought was far better than that grade. Timothy Whiseant says, if Starkle plays 2 full quarters, we put up 60-plus points, and I predict John Stevens-Jones gets a touchdown, and KJ will play a few snaps. Man, 60-plus points in 2 quarters might break some records, Timothy. That'd be pretty great. Robert says, do any of you guys watch TJ LSU Dad on YouTube? He's great when he sticks to football. When he stays away from his TDs, check him out. 48-9 Hogs says Terrence. Christopher Shea. What the hell, Robert? Why are you plugging another YouTube channel here, Robert? Come on, man. No, he is a good guy. TJ LSU Dad, I've run into him on Twitter a few times. He's a good guy. He's been around for a while. He's pretty lenient on the Razorbacks. If you listen to him on Twitter, he does get a little political, and I'm political myself. I follow political people. I like and sometimes retweet political stuff, but I try to stay away from it as much as I can. You know, everyone has their look. That's your Twitter. You do you, man. 48-9 says Terrence, Arkansas. Want to see 5 quarters. Me too. I want to see 5 quarters. 56-21 says Reggie. Tyler, 42-17. 2011 CVB, 51-14. Let's see. Kelmar says, why not? Tulsa held them to less than 20. Yeah. I agree. Hold them to less than that. I'd like to see them hold them to like goose eggs. That'd be wonderful. I hope that you, quote unquote, fair weather fans don't turn on Nick Starkle like they've done on some other quarterbacks, says Renegade Biker. Live stream after the game tomorrow night? Question mark? Yes. Yeah, I will be. I mentioned that earlier. I will be live tomorrow night after the game. Those are fun too. A lot of you, I think, are drunk. It's even that much more entertaining. It's amazing to see some of you attempt to type out a comment, but I love it. It's good stuff. It's good. It's nice for fellow Hog fans to come together from a victory, right? Yes. Let's see. Got to stand by Starkle. He'll go from strength to strength. He's a gunslinger. We've mentioned it 1,000 times. He's a gunslinger. He's going to. He's probably going to throw picks. And when you get into SEC play, you're gonna, the little things he's gotten wrong so far, the little misreads and bad throws, those will turn into interceptions against SEC schools. They will. But he's also, I think, just as likely to throw a touchdown as he is an interception, and that'll happen once you get into conference play. Fishman says, I love those cartoons where the Gus Bus is in the ditch with fire coming out of the engine. Oh, man. TDS. Oh, I see what you're saying, Robert. Okay. I thought you said touchdowns. I was like, what is he talking about? Okay. Let's see. Kelmari. TJ predicts KJ to be worrisome for the rest of the SEC. Don't sleep on SJS, says Greg. Rick Carr, your message was retracted, sir. You don't need to sleep on anybody, I would argue, but there is no reason why San Jose State should even be a football game. I mean, they've won 3 games with the same head coach for the last 2 years. They struggled to beat and really pull away from what I've read from an FCS school, as has Arkansas earlier this year, but they're different, as you could see, under Nick Starkle. There should be no reason why this is close. This should be a blowout. If it's not, I don't know. I guess it depends on the circumstances. 47-17 says Blood Diamond. What do you think the odds are of beating Kentucky now, Ty? I still don't think they're very good. I think you asked me that last week, or somebody did. I still would favor Kentucky. I just would, even with their cheap shot linebacker. Is he a linebacker? The dude that tried to break dude's ankle? That was ridiculous. I don't like the quote unquote Gus Bus and all that are on it. I don't want to be on a. I don't want to be in on a overhyped coach. It says Renegade Biker. Okay, Fishman. Well, I'm a conspiracy analyst. For the most part, hogs bring me back to earth. Laugh out loud. Okay, well, that's I think that's it on the comments. I think we're done. 55 minutes is pretty good. I know we got going in those first 7 or 8 minutes, but it was good stuff. I love sitting and hanging with you guys. Good job, Gregory, on guessing the ball was Mitch Mustaine. Good stuff. Good job. That's going to do it again. If you guys haven't already, check out the links down below. The podcast, we had our last episode put up, not our last, but our most recent episode is up and available for you guys on iTunes and wherever. I think we're on Spotify. I know we're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. You can find us. But we did our analysis of our analysis of the San Jose State game. And it was a good show. The Friday shows are typically a little bit shorter. Mondays are an hour, between 45 minutes and an hour, and Friday shows are typically around 30 minutes. Maybe a little more, but typically a little less. A great show. Looking forward to your after game live. It's not a podcast. It's just a live stream. Podcast will be recorded on Sunday. So like I always say, if you guys have any questions or comments, hit us up on social media, and we will try to remember to read them on the podcast. But yeah, we record Sunday nights and they go up Monday morning. And then on Thursdays, we record in the afternoon and they go up Friday morning. So new podcasts are supposed to be up every Monday and Friday on the Hog Talk podcast. Again, we will be live tomorrow night here. Excited. It'll be a late game. I'll be live on the halftime show on the Hog Talk podcast on Facebook if you guys want to go check that out. So I think that's it. Again, subscribe, comment, share, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Do all that wonderful stuff. Until tomorrow night, I will see you guys. Go Hogs. Be careful for those of you who are in town for the game. Be careful. Call an Uber or a Lyft, a taxi, whatever. Have a DD, a designated driver, and call those Hogs loud and proud. We'll see you guys around.